down to Karnataka, where the historic Eidgah Maidan and the case around it is set to reach the Supreme Court today. Now, we're going to bring you a lot more context. Remember, the Karnataka Waqf Board is challenging a recent High Court order in the state that permitted the state government to take final calls on allowing Ganesh Chaturthi events at the Eidgah Maidan. Remember, this is a Maidan that historically was used by the Muslim communities in the area for their prayers. In the last few months, it's seen a lot of controversy, especially in the run-up to elections to Bangalore's local civic body. The Eidgah Maidan dispute has intensified over the last few days. My colleague Harish is with us this morning to bring us a lot more context on this story. He's with us live from Eidgah Maidan as we speak. Harish, good morning. Harish, for our audiences who are tuning in this moment from across the country, could you give us background to the Eidgah Maidan and its importance? We can also, I think, hear some shouting behind you. If you could also bring us more context to that.
Well, I'll come to the background in a bit. What you're seeing behind me are people who are wanting to have a Ganesh Chaturthi celebration at the Eidgah Maidan. And they've just managed to break around 101 coconuts here, praying to the God that the Supreme Court, in its verdict today, will allow them to ensure that they can keep the Ganesha idol here and have a Ganesh Chaturthi celebration. In fact, for the last few years, this has been their demand. What you see on the right side is the Eidgah Maidan that has heavy police deployment right now, around 1,500 personnel. This includes around 100 rapid action force personnel, around 120 from the district SWAT team and others. At the same time, the demand has been there for a very long time. Mr. V.V. Ganesh, who is also a former corporator from the area, joins us. Sir, this has been a long pending demand. Are you confident that the Supreme Court will give a verdict in your favor today, sir?
This is a new reform day in the history of the India. After 75 years, we expect the Supreme Court will give a good verdict in the interest of the nation and the coordination in between the religion and in between the persons who are Muslims or Hindus or Christians. This is the interrelationship between the persons. It is very essential for the nation to grow up. For that, we pray the God to give more relationship in between the persons and in between the religion.
At the same time, Waqf Board says that if Ganesh Chaturthi is allowed at the Eidgah Maidan in Chamrajpet, it could disturb peace. Or the playground in Chamrajpet, it will lead to some sort of a disturbance of law and order and peace here.
Waqf Board is always a sadist type of a thinking. They are not the positive, they are always negative. They are in our nation. They must think about the future of the nation. We are the persons. First, we have to integrated coordination. We want relationship in between the persons and in between the religions. They are the saddest and they are the negative thinkers always in the interest of nation, in the interest of the religion, in the interest of the other religion also. They are saddest.
Sir, finally, Chamrajpet also has a lot of Muslim population. Have you spoken to them? Are they supporting you?
Sir, we are having here good Muslims. They are very well cooperative for we. We don't want any quarrel in between the persons, in between the religion. They are voluntary, they are coming and they are coordinated with the festival. Okay. So what is the difference between Eidgah and we are praying the God to bless our people, bless our nation, bless our country. Okay. This is our intention, not in between the quarrel.
Okay, there you go, Mr. Ganesh, saying that the idea is not to have any sort of a quarrel between communities, but to host the Ganesh Chaturthi festival here without any sort of a problem. They've just managed to break around 101 coconuts here, praying for Lord Ganesha's blessings to ensure that the hearing in Supreme Court today and the order goes in their favor.
Harish, I want to understand from you, our audiences might remember the single judge bench had originally said that the Eidgah Maidan should only be used for a very select set of purposes. Then you'd had the High Court division bench a day later rule differently. In their ruling, what reasons had the division bench given?
Well, remember, the single judge bench asked the state government to not give permission for anything apart from the two festivals, Muslim festivals on which they are allowed to pray here. And that was an interim order. That wasn't a full-fledged order. The case was postponed to later on in September. This was challenged in the division bench by the Karnataka government. There the Karnataka High Court in fact allowed the government to take a call. It said it's the discretion of the government to decide on what happens there, and now this has gone to the Supreme Court. Here as well there might be an interim order, but we will have to wait for the next few months for a full-fledged order. In fact, they've started once again praying to the gods. They've just finished breaking coconuts here. They are very confident that within a short span of time they can arrange Ganesh Chaturthi celebration. For example, if the court today allows them around noon to celebrate, then they can put together everything in place by tomorrow morning and have a peaceful Ganesh Chaturthi celebration.
Harish, stay with us. Thank you for the context.